Hello, Meow.
Meow.
And welcome back to the channel.
I'm Shift.
And I'm Electro.
And we are
Shift Bro.
Woo.
And we are back with another magical girl.
Yep.
This week we are doing
Dollightful. Finally. Like, I can say it in the first part of the video and it not be a mistake.
Yay! So this one was like so different to what I usually draw, like completely. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna completely go to my comfort zone with this one. And I started off by actually turning her into a doll.
Yeah, I was like looking at the sketch you're doing, I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if you actually made her knees into the actual joints of the doll that she usually customizes?
Yeah, so with the design of the outfit and stuff, I made sure to like have the elbows out and the knees out so we could put the joints in so you'd get the effect of her being actually a doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it so much. I was so happy with it. Like, I was watching her videos of her doing her art, and I'm like, oh my god, she is so good. When she sees it, she's gonna like.
So I like the band-aid on the nose. I actually tried doing that with a band-aid on my nose.
Yeah.
Because I have a massive nose, it just made it stick out more. And it like clogged my pores with this glue.
I like remember like when they first put out like the band-aids with the patterns and stuff, and then people would have like the Wiggles band-aids and like, look at me, I'm so cool, I've got the Wiggles.
I just got like the bright colourful ones with no pictures.
But I think we got like the Wiggles, we got like the bananas in pajamas and the teddy bears and stuff like that. It was just like really weird.
Oh, you come from one of those rich families. Ooh.
No. But yeah, so like, I'm just so happy. I really wanted to play around with my style this year as well and stuff, so I'm happy that I did this.
Yeah.
And then the colouring as well.
Yeah, the colouring. I pretty much spent most of the time on her Instagram going, she likes green, she likes pink. It's like on her Pokemon trainer outfit, and then it's on this like
big dress thing with frills and stuff.
Yeah, but I was like, I want to put a little bit of green because she had on that dress, it was like the frills were pink, but then the massive jacket was green. So I was like, I'll just reverse that.
Yeah, which is cool. And then like we even watched her videos on how she drew 3 outfits in someone else's style that she really liked. And so we took inspiration from that. So like she has like an undersuit, which is her like black clothing style that she likes.
Yeah.
And then we also like turned that into like her cat. So her hoodie's like inspired by one of her cats as well.
Yeah. Because like I always stay to the end and I'm like, you gotta watch the end because it shows cats.
I know. Like, every time there's always like a special cutscene. It's like she does like the Marvel end credit scenes in the Doll universe. And then you get to see the cats. You're like, oh my god, they're so cute.
I think we started watching them before we even had cats ourselves. And we couldn't actually get cats where we were living. So we're like, this is the only time that we're going to be able to see cute cats.
And now our cats have standards to live up to. Be cute! But yeah, so like, as well as with Dollightful, we have mentioned before that she got us into doll customizing.
Yeah, and we tried doll customizing for 2 years.
And failed at it miserably.
Yeah.
We'll put some pictures up. So like the first one is like, gonna be inspired by you as like a Dragon Ball Z character or something?
Yeah, so I got you to draw a picture ages ago of me as a Saiyan Boo. Because I'm obsessed with Boos and their tentacles things on their head. Because I remember in like Star Wars they had like tentacles on their head, the cool blue chicks.
Yes, I do. I've never watched Star Wars, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was like, I want to be one of them because they're like, they're cool.
It's cool, it's something different.
Yeah, so I'm going to be Saiyan version, so that's that one. You started making it into a doll.
Yes, but because of the tentacle hair and this like being the first thing, like, I don't even know how to sculpt.
Yeah, and then we had to paint it afterwards, and I'm like, I don't even know where I would start the hairline or anything.
Yeah, well I tried doing like the epoxy to make the hairline, so you just paint that. But then the tentacles are just like, I didn't know how to go about it, and it was just a mess, and so I just never finished it.
And because you did that beforehand, and then we watched a video after we did it, saying that if you put epoxy on the head, and then you try to do the face up, it will crack the epoxy. So we were kind of like, oh, so we were supposed to do it afterwards, but it looked so good. So we're like, do we get a new doll to do the face up on? Or do we just like surgically face off it and like...
Yeah, but we're like, we just spent so much time on this, we don't want to ruin it. And then like this next picture as well, we just did like antlers, and we didn't have like any male dolls at the time, so we tried converting like a female face sculpt into like a male face sculpt.
That chin.
And then this is like one of the face-ups that we attempted. It really reminds me of like the Mesmer class from Guild Wars 2. Do you remember those guys?
Yes. It totally reminds me of it. And it was actually without Mr. Super Clear. We didn't have Super Clear at that time.
Yeah.
And we're like, how good is it going to look? If you zoom in, it's really dodgy.
But yeah, we just got like this cheap spray from like Bunnings or something like that, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And then the next one was like for your merman thing.
Yes, this is like, you know, I wanted to be a unicorn, but I also wanted to be a mermaid. So, you know, fusion of those two, and then
they just have lots of unicorns horns.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the next ones are like the mermaid bodies we tried making with epoxy sculpt. We just got like heaps of wire and paper and stuff, and just was like, ah.
Yeah, I think this one is your mermaid's the last one. Mine's the first one. So mine is so much bigger and so much flatter because I want it to be an eel kind of thing.
Like a weirdly shaped tail. It's not like one of the normal mermaid tails, which is like a fishy one.
And I also wanted the fins all the way up to the body, all the way up to the waist, and there's no break to it at all.
Yeah.
And you wanted yours just on the end like a normal mermaid.
Yes, and like with the fins, we're planning on like getting wire and latex.
Oh, I did it, and it was terrible.
It was terrible.
I can't. They're in a box somewhere. But basically the wire was too thick for the latex, and I kept on putting on more and more and more coats, but it was just, we had the wrong wire or something, it just looked terrible, and then it stuck together, and then I had to make a new one.
In theory it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
In practice, not so much.
And then I got some real hair and I did a wig, and it was for my original one, like she's got her original one. I was going to do my own and do it with real hair because she did a pack of hair, and it was a waste of real hair.
Yeah. It's like, you were trying to make the wefts and stuff, and they'd always turn out really thick, and they just turn out gross. And we're like, watch that video. It's like, how do they get it to make it so thin and neat and perfect?
But even when you make it thin, it doesn't actually cover the glue wefts as well. So you have to make it thick enough to cover them, but then thin enough that it would actually fold.
Yeah, so we're just like, how do you guys do this? Do you guys have like magical glue over there that we don't have?
Well, that's the problem too. Like, there's a picture on here that's not on here because now it's in a couple of pieces. But I tried ventilating hair, but because we don't have Fabri-Tac glue here, I'm constantly doing it, and I accidentally sawed off her head by putting the holes too big.
Yeah.
And then I stuck Fabri-Tac glue inside, not Fabri-Tac glue, it's like Mod Podge glue,
yeah.
And it never dried. And then I waited like 2 weeks, and then I tried moving the hair, and the whole head came off.
And the glue was still wet.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So then I tried the exact same hair, and tried doing wefts for the red.
Yeah.
And that's how it turned out. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. We'll move on. And then we just tried the wool one as well, how we made our own ventilator thing.
I still wanted it to be long, so I tried around the face by just putting the wool in normally. And then at the back, because I wanted it really, really big, I started unraveling them but not brushing them out so it could keep the length. And it got really, really buffy, like really big.
Thick, yeah.
So I had to plait it back just to hold back all that mane.
Like, she has like a massive bald patch in the back of her head, but it was just like, you know, so thick. It's like, okay, so I just didn't know if we should keep going or pull some out. We'll just leave it.
And then the next one you ventilated on actual real French lace, and you used, I think it was Kanekon? I'm not sure actually.
I think it's just like a synthetic fiber.
Yeah.
And I sat there for like 5 days straight ventilating, and it's just a frontal. So it just does like the T-section out the front of the head. So it's like the part and then the hairline around the front.
We styled it because there's a frontal for actual wigs. And then there's a topper. So we combine the two designs together to make a frontal topper thing that covers both of them. And then I was going to do tracks all at the back, but they never stuck.
Yes, the lace, because it was so thin and stuff, it just kept coming off.
And the wefts were too heavy, even though I got the wefts from the wig that we bought, because we bought like a $60 wig, and then we cut that apart and then used the wefts from that because they were so much more light and tiny.
Yeah.
But they were still 26 inches long.
Yeah. I was like, this can be Rapunzel. They have hair for days, the longest hair. But now that I think about it, we could have gotten like a needle and thread and like stitched the lace to the scalp or something. But at that time, I was like, I'm done.
I was thinking that I was like, maybe we could stitch it like using the curved needles into the actual vinyl, and then I was like, it's just gonna, rip off the head again.
Yeah. But like also the curved needles that you usually get, they're really thick. And the holes, you need like a really small needle to do it. And I'm like, I just can't be bothered doing that. And then trying to find the hole on the way back out from inside the head as well. It'd just be like so annoying. So I'm like, I'm done. This is like the 10th time I've tried making like a lace wig and ventilated. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, so I think
we came to the conclusion we're not doll customizers.
No, I think we completely stopped probably when we moved 3 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. Because we also had issues with like the air gun thing that we got. It was like a second-hand one. It worked once, and then
not really. The actual paint didn't actually color it. So in the last picture of the mermaid, it was supposed to be white. I did about 30 coats.
Yeah, so we got like the worst paint we could ever use, and it was just a mess. Everything was a mess.
I tried all the different consistencies of paint. I tried really, really thin. I tried really thick. Clogged up the air gun. It was too thin to actually make a color difference. And then I was just like, you can do it. And then you did like 10 coats and
like, nah.
Didn't make a difference.
I'm done. Yeah, so like doll customizing for us, where we live and everything, it just isn't, it's not realistic because we're so far away from everything as well. It's like too expensive. We have to order everything in.
And the humidity for the faces. The Mr. Super Clear seals all that humidity in.
Like, we can only use Mr. Super Clear for like 1 week in the whole entire year, otherwise it's too hot or too cold, too humid, too whatever, because our weather is so terrible.
It's like if it's not scorching that literally the sun kills all the grass, it's raining for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah. But yeah, like, and so, but, we just live vicariously through the doll customizers and Dollightful and stuff. I love the ones where she, like, completely chops them up and, like, reassembles them, like, when she did Xerneas and stuff like that, the legendary deer Pokemon thing. Is it Xerneas? I forget.
It's the Y one.
No, the Y one's the bird, isn't it? Which is Yveltal.
Oh,
yeah,
it is too.
Xerneas, yes.
Xerneas is the X one?
No, yeah, it's the deer. Xerneas is the deer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she chops them up and like gives them, I have to say, my favorite one was where she was chopping open the jaw of the Banshee. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, what is she doing? Oh my god, oh my god. And then she started putting it back together and I'm like, this is looking really terrifying.
I love it. Then she carved teeth and everything. Like, oh my god. She's like...
You just took this whole new thing to a whole new level. Catch up.
Yeah, and then like, I liked the Wendigo. That's why I did the antlers, because when she did the Wendigo, she did like the cool bony legs and stuff like that.
And I've always been a fan of the hinds from Hercules. So we really wanted to turn our Globetrotter?
I don't know. The monster high doll that's half human, half horse.
Yeah, we wanted to turn it into a golden hind, which is basically the only thing that can kill a god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so we're clearly big fans of Dollightful, so we hope she sees this and we hope she likes it, because I love it. I was so afraid that it just wouldn't turn out good, especially considering we went for like the Decora Kai route. I hope that's how you say it properly.
Yeah,
so,
I just pointed at the word when you were Googling and just said that word, because I'm not going to attempt butchering it or anything. At this point.
Yeah, so it was like heaps of rainbow colors. The struggle was to not make it messy, to make it still look nice and not blur.
As well as I tried to use her favorite colors that I've seen on her actual doll herself. and on her.
And then it turns out she's like, oh no, I just didn't have any other fabrics.
Yeah.
I hate those colours.
I
damn
like
it.
scarlet red.
Yeah, and black. Lots of black. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say.
That's pretty
That's
much
it,
it.
yeah.
Besides the fact that literally her intro just makes me so happy when she says it. Like she said in one of her videos, oh, this is back when I used to say "and young" way too chipper or something like that. And I was like, no, I love it when you like go "and young." Like it's so great.
Like even our cats say it. Sometimes the way they meow, it sounds like meow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it from us today. We hope you
Like and subscribe.
and click the bell notification button.
And links will be in the description if you want to click stuff.
Yes, and then go binge watch a lot of other videos. Thank you. Bye, meow.
Meow.